Welcome back to the Anime Audit. This episode we are taking a broader look at One Piece and its world. In previous videos, we've taken a look at specific characters, but this time we'll be taking a deeper look at One Piece as a whole. Fact number 1. The world government was willing to pay 5 billion berries for Law's devil fruit, otherwise known as the Ope Ope no Mi. The Ope Ope no Mi is renowned and coveted for allowing the user to perform miraculous surgeries, cure untreatable diseases, and even circumvent physical disabilities. It is also called the ultimate devil fruit because of its unique power to grant another person eternal youth in exchange for the user's own life. For this reason, the Marines were willing to pay as much as 5 billion berries just to buy the fruit from a pirate named Diaz Barrels just over a decade ago. This ultimately didn't end up happening. Corazon stepped in and got that fruit for Law and ultimately saved Law's life. This is crazy to think about because Oda has said multiple times now that he more or less just threw Law's character together. And it's crazy to think that he was able to throw together such a great character in such a short amount of time and didn't really foresee him becoming this popular. Fact number 2. Oda has stated that his favorite real-life pirate is Edward Teach, who is better known as Blackbeard. Since the real-life Blackbeard is his favorite pirate, I think it's safe to assume that we're going to see a lot more out of Marshall D. Teach as the series comes to an end. Obviously, Edward Newgate, or Whitebeard, and Marshall D. Teach together equal out to being the real-life Blackbeard. Since Whitebeard is no longer with us, I think it's safe to say that Marshall D. Teach, or Blackbeard in One Piece, is going to play a big role as the series continues. Obviously, he's going to play a big role, but I can't wait to see what Oda does. I assume that he's going to do something amazing and befitting of such a historically popular pirate. Additionally, Oda has said in an interview with Shonen Jump that in the early days of One Piece's run, his favorite villain was Buggy the Clown. He joked that he more or less threw them together. Fact number 3. Luffy has stated that his ideal crew size is 10. Now, I know that we have the entire Straw Hat Grand Fleet at this point, but I don't think he really cares about them or considers them truly a part of his crew. He sees them as friends, or maybe even allies at this point. I think this likely means that we aren't going to be getting any additions to the crew anytime soon. And I'm sorry to say that some truly amazing characters might never get a chance to join the Straw Hats, or even just set sail with them. I'd really like for this not to be the case. Now, I like the crew just how it is, but there are some really amazing characters out there. If anything, I'd like to make an exception for someone like Bon Clay. He definitely deserves a spot, and I don't care what anyone has to say. Outside of Bon Clay, everything else is negotiable to me. I don't think Vivi really belongs on the crew. I think that Bartolomeo definitely deserves a spot, but I'm more than fine with him just being a member of the Grand Fleet and serving there. That's definitely good enough for him in my book. Outside of those, there's so many other members that we could talk about and argue about, but that's for a different video. If you like anime or One Piece related content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It's free and easy to do. Currently, over 99% of the people watching my videos are not subscribed, and that's just mind-blowing. I need your help to get it down to a healthier number like 50%. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Fact number 4. Did you know that the journey of the Straw Hats and One Piece as a whole was only supposed to run for 5 years? Well, we know that isn't the case because it's been going on for over 1,000 chapters and episodes. Due to Oda's hard work and dedication to creating this masterpiece, we have one of the greatest stories ever created. But due to the demanding schedule required to keep the series weekly, it came at a huge cost. Oda stated that in mornings, he'll get up at 5 a.m. and work until 2 a.m. It's normal for me to sleep from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. I'm sure that's not the case every day, but I'm sure that happens all the time, and that his schedule is extremely demanding. The series has been going on weekly for a long time. He also stated that he doesn't really get to take off for holidays or vacations. His dedication is just absolutely insane, and it's part of the reason why One Piece is so great. Where we are currently is quite the change from Oda's initial plans for the series. In the past, he had stated that the manga was going to conclude in 2002, 5 years after it started. He even had the ending already planned out. Moreover, with Oda saying that the series will end in a few years, and then back in 2015, the story was only around 70% complete. We've definitely got a few more good years in front of us, but it'll definitely be sad to see it end, and maybe one day we'll be sad to see it go. Fact number 5. I'm sure most of you remember Dadan, the bandit that Garp entrusted to take care of Luffy and Ace, who more or less became their mother. Well, did you know that Dadan was originally going to be a man? This was a fact that was only revealed in One Piece screen. The early concept art of Dadan showed that she was originally a man with a more traditional hat and pipe. Personally, I think that it would have been more enjoyable to see this character raise the future Straw Hat captain. Dadan was okay, and I enjoyed her character, but she wasn't exactly my favorite, and sometimes I even forget about her. Now, don't get me wrong, I truly appreciate the character and can definitely see what she did for Luffy. She did save Luffy and Ace's life, and that flashback left me feeling really happy and nostalgic for the series. Dadan definitely left an impact on both Luffy and Ace's personality and made them more wild and reckless. Although after saying all of that, I definitely understand why Oda went with Dadan. A motherly figure such as herself, it definitely allowed fans to really connect with her when we saw her reaction to Ace's death. It was a really hard scene to watch, and her beating up Garp is really iconic. Fact number 6. Nami is actually the only Straw Hat to invite someone to join the crew. Well, that is at least before Luffy could ask them to. The person that Nami invited to join the crew is none other than Chopper, who ended up joining the crew, and that came with a lot of internal battles, and ultimately ended up in Chopper joining the crew. Nami and Luffy have a strong bond, and I'm sure that Luffy respected her decision, and was completely fine with Nami being the one to invite Chopper to join the crew. I mean, this decision ended up pretty well for the Straw Hats, as Chopper ended up being the ship's doctor and an invaluable member of the crew. Fact number 7. Now, we all know the Supernovas are the worst generation, but did you know that Oda hadn't planned them? During the Sabaody Archipelago arc, Oda had come to the decision that there wasn't enough going on and that this arc would more or less be forgettable. That's when Oda planned the Supernovas. He didn't plan on characters like Law playing such a pivotal role in the series. Oda has also stated that he thought that Kid would become an important character, but he did not think that Law would. I didn't imagine that a character like Law would be such an important character, and weekly serialization can lead to great things. This is a fact that I truly find interesting. Law is an amazing character, and it's definitely one of my favorites. And it's crazy to think that an author like Oda, someone who's known for planning his characters pretty far ahead of time, and including a lot of foreshadowing, wasn't ready for this, and didn't plan for Law and the other Supernovas to be this popular. It's just crazy to think that Law, Kid, and the other Supernovas weren't really planned, and that the worst generation only ended up happening because of the Sabaody Archipelago arc just needed some more content to make it really worth reading and watching. Fact number 8. One Piece is currently the #1 best-selling manga of all time. It's also the second best-selling comic book series, falling right behind Superman, but surprisingly ahead of Batman. I know One Piece is in somewhat of a different category and is sold internationally, but it is still interesting to see One Piece so high on this list. It's also worth noting that One Piece has been around for only a fraction of the time Superman and Batman have been. Due to One Piece's success, Oda is currently ranked as the 4th best-selling fiction author of all time. With over 516 million in minimum sales, he's above famous authors like J.K. Rowling, Stephen King, and J.R.R. Tolkien. Over the years, Oda's just going to continue to rise on this ranking. Now, he might not overcome great writers like Shakespeare, Agatha Christie, or Harold Robbins, but this is still an insane accomplishment, and it really goes to show that One Piece is a global success and will continue to have a major impact on the entire world over the next few generations. Fact number 9. Now, I'm sure that we all remember Impel Down and its history of being an unescapable prison. Well, but did you know that there's only one character who's ever been released from Impel Down? That character was Arlong. Normally when you think of Impel Down, you think that pretty much everyone sent there is going to live out the rest of their life. That is, of course, unless you send one rubber boy there who ends up just breaking out and embarrassing the world government. The reason that Arlong was able to get out of Impel Down happened solely because of Jinbei. Following the death of his former captain, Fisher Tiger, Arlong was captured and sent to Impel Down, but was later released thanks to his comrade Jinbei, who became one of the 7 warlords of the sea. Once freed, Arlong set his sights on conquering the East Blue and causing a lot of people a lot of pain. Fact number 10. When you were reading the manga or watching the anime, did you notice the character that looks like Sabo in Loguetown? Well, it hasn't been confirmed, but it does seem entirely possible. I mean, look at this shot from the manga. When you look at it, your eyes are instantly drawn to this man in a black coat and top hat. This man looks surprisingly like Sabo, and to me obviously seems like foreshadowing of Sabo and his return later on in the series. And this just goes to show just how great One Piece is. Now, we might not have known it at the time, but these interesting facts just really go to highlight just how amazing the series is, and it really makes the series worth a second watch. After all, Dragon was definitely in Loguetown and saved Luffy. At the time of Luffy's execution, we knew that Sabo had no memory of Luffy or Ace, so it would make sense for him not to do anything and kind of just stand aside. I'm sure that came at the direction of Dragon, who said he had to handle something, and so Sabo was just more or less drawn in and was just watching what was happening. He was probably getting ready to step in, but knew that Dragon could handle it. He probably just didn't know why he wanted to handle it. Now, this hasn't been entirely confirmed and could end up being false, and so that's why I put it at the end of this video. The reason I included it was because I just don't see why Oda would deny this. It would only benefit his credibility as an amazing writer, not that he needs any more credibility, but it would really make fans excited and make them want to rewatch the series. Well, that's all I've got for today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more One Piece and anime related content.